You're listening to the voice of the National Road, broadcasting along the National Old Trails Highway in Indiana from Richmond to Terre Haute. The federal government and the American Association of State Highway Officials announced today an ambitious plan to provide order for the nation's highways. The chaotic system of named highways that crisscross these United States will soon be replaced by numbered routes. The old national road.
In 1926, the federal government established the U.S. Highway Route Numbering System to identify principal interstate routes. All highways identified by names would now be identified by numbered shields. Odd-numbered roads would run north-south. Even-numbered roads would run east-west. Important transcontinental routes would end in 0. The national road was designated U.S. Route 40. U.S. Route 40 would run from the boardwalk at Atlantic City, New Jersey, to the Golden Gate at San Francisco. Through Maryland, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Ohio, Indiana, and Illinois, it would follow the historic route of the National Road. Prior to 1926, independent highway organizations promoted national and regional highways. From 1912 to 1926, the National Road was part of the National Old Trails Road from Washington, D.C. to Los Angeles. By the early 1920s, there were over 250 named highways competing for traffic and money. Each, like the National Old Trails Road, promised the most direct route and the best road conditions. In reality, many of the highways were little more than well-marked, dusty, muddy, and rutted routes. A few did accomplish minor highway improvements, but without funding, progress was slow. Roads varied greatly from state to state. No standardized signs provided warnings for drivers. Safety was a huge problem. Accidents and fatalities were common. Long-distance travel was unpredictable, often confusing, and sometimes dangerous. Beginning in 1916, the federal government began providing money to the states to construct modern paved highways. By the early 1930s, much of the old National Road, now U.S. Route 40, often and simply called the National Highway, boasted 2 concrete lanes. Take another chance.
Today in Washington, President Eisenhower signed the Federal Aid Highway Act of 1956. The act will create a national system of interstate and defense highways. We now join the President speaking before the Congress.
A modern highway system is essential to meet the needs of our growing population, our expanding economy, and our national security. We are accelerating our highway improvement program under...
In 1919, a young lieutenant colonel named Dwight D. Eisenhower traveled in an army convoy from Washington, D.C. to San Francisco. The roads were muddy and often impassable. The trip took 62 days. It was a miserable, slow, back-breaking trip that Eisenhower would remember for the rest of his life. General Eisenhower was impressed by the German Autobahns during World War II. He believed the United States should have a similar system of defense highways to move the military quickly and efficiently. The interstate system President Eisenhower envisioned would be designed for high speeds. No city traffic, no congestion. To ensure high quality, the federal government would pay 90% of the total cost, and the states would have to construct the roads to a uniform standard established by the government. Interstate 70 in the east would closely follow the route of US 40, the historic National Road.
Tires on the pavement will sing, "Come on, America, the welcome mat is out." This is the road to prosperity.